Good morning. We will begin our service with the ringing of the temple bell. At this time, please silence your cell phones and listen quietly as the sounding of the concho is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Thank you.
Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Aloha, and thank you for joining us for today's Dharma Family Service. I am Myrna Kunihiro, and I will serve as your MC. We are fortunate today that Minister's Assistant Linda Nagai will be officiating today's service as well as delivering the Dharma message in Reverend Blaine's absence. Assisting at the temple with technical support is the Zoom crew of Alan Matsumoto, Lynn Katayama, and Stephen Kaneko. Last week, technical issues prevented Zoom from working. One of the cameras needs to be replaced. However, thanks to the hard work of our Zoom crew, a temporary fix has been made until the new camera is installed. Corinne Chong is our organist, and Betty Takioka will lead the singing. Please rise and let us start the service with the Vandana and Chisarana. Please chant both the Pali and English parts together with Linda. Those of you on Zoom, be sure to mute your mics.
Namandavs, 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 naman, naman.
Standing for an aspiration which will be shared by Linda.
Let's put our hands together in Gasho. As I read a poem by one of our Dhamma treasures, Nami Sogi. How grateful I am. Namo Amidabutsu. Grateful to true compassion. I pass the hill of 50 years. Before we are struck by the wind of impermanence, let us all say Namo Amidabutsu, entrusting ourselves to true compassion. Namo Amidabutsu. Namo Amidabutsu. Namo Amidabutsu. Naman. Naman. Naman.
Please be seated. It is now time for the offering of incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up and offer incense if you wish, starting with the front rows and moving towards the back. Let us observe a moment of silent meditation. Linda will now lead us in
Namandavs,
chanting
namandavs,
Jusege.
namandavs,
Words can be found on page 55 in the Jodo Shinshu service book and on the screen. Again, page 55.
Jusege, the verses reaffirming the vows. The Buddha of infinite light and life made vows to embrace all beings equally without exception. Those vows promise to create a perfect world where no suffering or evil exists and guides us to some supreme enlightenment. The Jusege, or verses reaffirming the vows, is a poetic summary of the basic intention of the 48 vows made by Amida Buddha to attain supreme enlightenment, to save all who are suffering, and to declare universal salvation through the name Namo Amida Butsu. We chant the words of the Buddha from the larger Pure Land Sutra as a reminder of these great vows, made to awaken all beings. The verses reaffirming the vows. Ju Se Ge. Gagon Cho Se Gan Hishimu Jodo Shigan Fu Manzo Se Fujo Shoga Gao Muryoko Fui Dai Se Shu Fu Sai Shou Bingu Se Fu Shou Shoga Ga Shi Jo Mundo Myo Shou Cho Jippo Hu Kyo Mi Mromon Se Fu Shou Jo Ga Ryokujin Shonen Joe Shubongyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Teninshi Jinriki Endaiko Fusho Musaido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kai Chi Egen Meshi Konmo An Heisoku Shoakudo Tsudan Zen Shumon Kosojo Manzok Iyoro Jippo Nichigan Shujuki Tenkon Fugen Ishu Kai Hozo Koseku Dokuho Jodai Shuju Seppo Shishiku Kuyo Isai Bun Gusoku Shutokuhon Ganne Shinjoman Tokui Sangayo Nyobun Mugechi Tsudan Mi Fusho Ganga Kuerik Toshi Sai Shoson Shiganya Koka 大聖を感動国書天人道珍妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしくどく平等性祭道法大神往生安楽国 Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Please rise for the song Jodo Shinchu Rocks. Words can be found on page 2 in the orange folders and on the screen. Again, page 2.
Special man, born a prince of the Shaka clan. At his birth it rained sweet tea. Now we call it Hanamatsuri, singing Jodo, Jodo, Shinshu, Shinshu, Jodo, Jodo, Shinshu, Shinshu. Amida teaches harmony. He is always calling me kindness to all living things. This is what your heart will bring. Singing Jodo, Jodo, Shinshu, Shinshu, Jodo, Jodo, Shinshu, Shinshu. Suffering is all around. Noble truths are so profound. We can end our misery. Eightfold path will be the key. Singing Jodo, We will, gasho. Namu Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Betty. You may be seated. Today's Dharma message will be given by Linda.
This is, I usually have my iPad. And yesterday when I went to Honolulu, I made sure I had my iPad, my sutra books, I had everything. Today I come here, I left my iPad at home. Fortunately for the iPhone, it was there. But now I gotta read paper. I don't know how to read paper. But anyway, good morning. And let's put our hands together in Gasho as I read a passage from the collected words of Shinran. Having entered forever the ocean of the vow, I now realize deeply the Buddha's benevolence. To respond with gratitude for the supreme virtues, I collect crucial passages expressing true essence of the Pure Land way, constantly saying, out of mindfulness, Namu Amida Butsu, the inconceivable ocean of virtues, ever more greatly rejoicing, I humbly receive it. Good morning again. First, I want to, before I start, he's not here, but Reverend Akahoshi, if he ever listens to this, who was here in August. We had an Embutsu seminar, and he was our guest speaker at our bone service at Hololoa, Honganji. And he was the one that kind of inspired me to write this talk today, what I'll be sharing with you. You know, when we think about it, we have people that come our way every moment in our lives. And for that, I truly feel grateful. This morning, as you may have guessed, my Dharma message will focus on the big G, gratitude. When we think of gratitude, we often imagine saying thank you for a favor associating with someone's kindness, or recognizing a blessing in our lives. However, I believe that gratitude is not just about saying thank you or feeling blessed about good times, but it's an ongoing recognition for our interconnectedness with all beings and with Amida Buddha's boundless compassion. The best things in life are not material at all. There are experiences, emotions, and connections. Think about what brings a smile on your face. A laughter, a hug from a friend or a child, an act of compassion, kind words, maybe seeing a blooming flower, or maybe a sunny day. Wake up and see the sun shining this morning. Or better yet, for me, no traffic on Kuokini Highway or Queen K. That always brings a smile on my face. There are so many small delights in life that can make us smile. And for those, we should truly be grateful. Don't overlook the small joys. We can miss them if we're too busy worrying about what could have been. None of us make it through life alone. It is important to take time to reflect and to think of all those who have helped us along our way. Never underestimate the power of a kind word. Every kind word or action we share becomes a part of both the giver and the receiver. If you're disappointed because you didn't get what you wanted, like those people that go to Vegas and didn't hit the big millions, think about the times when you didn't get what you didn't want. Like for me, getting stuck in traffic, Kuokini Highway, going to school in the morning and Queen K coming home in the afternoon. We should be grateful for the times we made it through the challenges that seemed really insurmountable. Be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself with compassion. Because whether you realize it or not, you are listening. The Nembutsu path encourages us to deeply trust in Amida's vow. The recitation of Namo Amida Butsu is not just a chant, it is an expression of gratitude. It is a reminder that we are embraced just as we are, imperfect, flawed, and struggling by Amida's infinite compassion. When we reflect on our life, we come to realize that much of what we have, our bodies, our opportunities, and even the conditions that allow us to hear and practice the Dharma comes from others. Our very existence is supported by the countless causes and conditions. If our parents didn't meet, we wouldn't be who we are today. This realization opens a door of humility and ultimately deep gratitude. Shinran Shonin often spoke how awareness of our deep karmic connections with others naturally leads us to gratitude. When we understand that our liberation is not dependent solely on our own efforts, but on Amida's infinite compassion, we cannot help but feel an overwhelming sense of thankfulness. To understand this gratitude more deeply, let's revisit the story of Dharmakara Bodhisattva, who later became Amida Buddha. Dharmakara made 48 vows to save all beings from suffering, dedicated countless of eons of practice, wisdom, and compassion to establish the Pure Land, where all beings can be reborn and attain enlightenment. His efforts were not for his own, but for ours. The Pure Land offers ordinary beings like us, trapped in delusion and karmic suffering, a chance to be reborn and ultimately awaken. Understanding the boundless compassion and generosity behind those vows fills us with gratitude. Living with gratitude is simply as saying Namo Amida Butsu, which can be seen as the voice of gratitude. It's about being mindful in recognizing the kindness that comes our way, whether from friends, family, teachers, or even strangers. But more profoundly, living with gratitude means that we acknowledge that our existence is sustained by countless others, the food we eat, the air we breathe, the wisdom passed down from our ancestors, and of course, the Dharma itself. When we cultivate gratitude, we become more aware of the kindness of others, including the unseen kindness of Amida Buddha. This awareness transforms how we live. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we begin to recognize the abundance we already have. Instead of harboring on resentment or clinging to ego-driven desires, we open our hearts and appreciate all that we receive. Of course, it's easy to feel gratitude when things are going well in our lives. But what about when we face hardships, challenges, illnesses, or even disappointment? The Dharma teaches us that even in suffering, there is room for gratitude. Suffering reveals our limitations and shows us that we cannot control everything. Amida's vow assures us that even in the darkest moment, we are not abandoned. When we realize that we are embraced in Amida's boundless compassion, regardless of our countless circumstances, our hearts can be filled with peace and thankfulness. Now feel the ground beneath you. Breathe the air. Touch the sunlight. Gaze at the sky. You are not just a part of nature, but nature is a part of you. This day will never, ever happen again. Every moment is once in a lifetime experience. Let us be grateful for this moment. Every time we say Namo Amida Butsu, we are expressing gratitude. We acknowledge that our lives, imperfect as it may be, is embraced by something greater than ourselves. In closing, I would like to leave you with something to reflect on. Gratitude is not an emotion, but a way of life, a lens through which we view the world, ourselves, and others. So let's strive to live each day with a sense of gratitude in our hearts, knowing that we are always held in the compassionate embrace of Amida Buddha. Let us put our hands together in Gassho and recite the Buddha's name. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs. 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 Thank you.
Thank you for your message on how we can live with gratitude in our lives every day. Thank you, Linda. Maki Yamaguchi will now lead the unison reading of our pledge. Words can be found on the handouts and on the screen. Please join her in reciting the words out loud.
Our pledge. Reaching out to others, I will share a smile and gentle words, just like the Buddha who always called out with aloha. Breaking away from my greed, anger, and ignorance, I will try to live in peace and harmony, just like the Buddha who shares tranquility and kindness with all. Moving forward from self-centeredness, I will share a life of joy and sorrow with others, just like the Buddha whose caring heart always embraces us. Realizing that I will live because of others, I will strive to live life to the fullest with an attitude of gratitude, just like the Buddha who promises to embrace us all. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo. Namo.
Thank you, Maki. Thank you, everyone. We will now have the offertory presentation. Mahalo for your generosity, which helps us to sustain our temple. Please rise as we will conclude this service with singing of the Gata Nembutsu.
Namandabs, Nam.
You may be seated. This concludes today's service. Here are some announcements, upcoming schedule of services, events, and reminders. Next Sunday, October 20th, we will observe our annual Pet Appreciation Service at 10 a.m. outdoors in front of the social hall. It is one of our favorite services because all well-behaved pets are invited to attend with their owners. They must be leashed or in carriers. You may also bring a photo or memento of a deceased pet to be remembered. Minister's Assistant Linda Nagai will officiate and share a Dharma message since Reverend Blaine will be on vacation. This service will not be Zoomed. Help is needed to set up tables, chairs, and the podium outside prior to the service. If you can help, please see Betty after the service. Any help will be much appreciated. Sunday, October 27th. Exciting news. Our Sangha friends at Kamoela Honganji Mission have invited us to attend their Grandparents' Day service, followed by Nagashi Somen, or flowing noodles activity. That should be a new and yummy experience for many of us. Their service begins at 9 a.m., and Linda Nagai will be the guest speaker. No service will be held at Kona Honganji that day. We are happy that many of you have already signed up to attend. We have obtained the use of a 12-passenger van, and if more seats are needed, hopefully some Sangha members can carpool with those of you who will be driving your own cars. If you are interested and have not yet signed up, please see Betty during refreshment time. Let's look forward to attending this fun excursion to Kamoela Honganji to listen to the Dharma and to meet our neighboring Nembutsu travelers. Sunday, November 3rd, we will observe Eitaikyo service at 10 a.m. Guest speaker will be our favorite Kona boy, Eric Matsumoto, former Bishop of Hawaii Kyodang, so please plan to attend. Sunday, November 10th, regular Dharma family service will be held at 10 a.m. Veterans will be recognized and Reverend Blaine will share a Dharma message. Any other announcements, anyone? No? Betty?
Just a reminder, our Ampang fundraiser is ongoing. And so those of you who have not yet turned in your orders, we have blank forms up front, on the table up front. And I believe deadline is Tuesday, the 15th?
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday the 15th to turn in your orders. So I hope you help us support this yummy fundraiser. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Those of you on Zoom, you may leave at any time. Those of you here in person, refreshments will be served in the conference room. Mahalo to Helen Nagata, Betty Takeoka, and anyone else who brought goodies to share. Your attendance today is most sincerely appreciated. Please stay healthy and safe by getting vaccinated with the new COVID booster shot, flu shot, and the RSV shot. Hope to see you at next Sunday's Pet Appreciation Service. And remember to bring your furry, feathered, fluffy, and my granddaughter said include scaled fluff family members, either live or bring mementos of those who have crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Thank you.